Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone, to our Jewel from our Jewels. Every Thursday morning is so fun. I look forward to this every morning, hearing from these different amazing jewels we have in Plexus. They're all so wonderful. And the best part for me is I don't give them any heads up of what to talk about. I just say, whatever God lays on your heart, just let us know. And it's been such a blessing because it just touches each one of us at our perfect time of our life. So today is Jennifer Mango and her awesome husband, Phil. I saw him on there, but I don't know if he's going to jump on there for a minute.
Yeah,
he's
in the room, but he's just going to be a fly on the wall until he wants to say something. Then I'm sure he'll jump in.
Something I want to say about these two is they are like a little ball of sunshine everywhere they go. And I'm not kidding you. Like whenever they're walking around, you can just see like this glow of love around them. And I'm just really thankful to have them a part of my journey too. So I'm going to turn it over to her right now and just let her share with us.
Thanks, Cindy. Gosh, that's so sweet. I love that. What a compliment. Usually my kids would say when we're together, we're a ball of something, but so not love or sunshine, more of a ball of fire or wrath or one of those. But thank you for having me. Yeah, my name is Jenn Mango. It says Philip Mango under here. We do run our business very much together as a couple. I am an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus and have been since May of 2014. And Phil is a Senior Ruby Ambassador. And so there really is, it's not for everyone, but there really is an amazing opportunity to run your business as a couple. Our journey started back in July of 2013, and it seems like that was forever ago. And then in another sense, it seems like, gosh, it's not been that long at all. My background is, sorry, my kid's sending me text about his test. My background is I'm a speech language pathologist. We have 3 children, and with 3 kids comes lots of busyness, lots of activities, lots of things, and sometimes challenges with children. And so we had our oldest had asthma. Our middle daughter was had a lot of learning difficulties, a lot of sensory issues. At one point, they thought she was on the autism spectrum. And then our littlest one, who's now 11, had celiac disease. Has celiac disease, not had. But I was a part-time working mama who we were struggling financially. We had some ups and had some downs, and we were really in a season of down at the time in 2013, but I was working part-time and I was heading into the summer, and summer as a speech therapist is always a busy time of year because that's when everybody's out of school and they want extra therapy. But that meant when I was at work that my kids were under someone else's care and I was missing out on a summer, and I was just heartbroken about missing yet another summer with my kids, and really had started praying about it and really felt like the Lord said, if you quit, I will give you this rest and time and we'll figure it out. And so I took that to Phil, and as he says, how can you argue with God? He still laughs because he hates that I played the God card on him. But it was the truth. And so he said he had really no choice. He said, okay. But we desperately needed that income that I was bringing in. So that was in May of 2013. I was not looking to replace that income. I really wanted just the summer to relax and play with my kids at home and be really creative and find ways to do things. And a friend of an acquaintance, as one of those things that I was trying to be creative in, I was selling things like on garage sale sites. Probably a lot of you are familiar with those. And I had a girl that was buying quite a bit of my things, and we kind of got to know each other that way. We had friended each other. And then I watched her lose a large amount of weight in a short amount of time. And I am a person who had struggled with sugar cravings. I knew all the right things to do. Most of us do, right? But had really struggled all my life with my weight, and particularly with sugar. I bought Halloween candy right in August as soon as it came out because I said, oh, I'm going to be prepared. But really it was so I could have a stash in my purse, stash in the candy drawer, whatever. Long story short, we tried the product. She gave us a sample. Could not afford the product, but tried the sample, and Phil immediately saw like a 6-pound loss and totally curbed his appetite and was a real skeptic of network marketing, but believed in the product because of the short-term results that we had had. So he said, we'll wait till a payday. And we can order a 1-month supply, the cheapest price possible. But I'm telling you, in August, we can't afford it. We just don't have the money. He said, if you want this product, you're going to have to figure out a way to make money with the compensation plan. He was very snubbed his nose, kind of, it was a challenge, kind of, I think honestly expected me to fail. No. Yes, he really did. He expected me to fail. And I took that as a challenge with my red hair. I was like, oh, I will show you. And really had no idea what was going on, but I can tell you this, and maybe many of you can relate to this feeling. There was something in my gut that told me there was something to this. I really feel like it was the Holy Spirit saying, this is the thing. You need to pour yourself into this. And so I did. And really, I would say in July, I poured myself as much as I knew how to. But at the end of those 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of July, I found myself with almost $2,000 in PV, and 6 people had said, yeah, I'll do it. I'll sign up for $34.95. So I ended up with this check that was bigger than a car payment, bigger than a lot of payments in August, going, wow, we really needed this income. And now we can get our product and then some. And so Phil, of course, being Phil, said, well, how about you really work your business then in August? Because that was just kind of like you were playing. You didn't even know. And I did. I took that as another challenge, and I doubled that amount of income, over doubled. And so in September, a friend of ours joined, a husband and wife, and they looked at Phil and said, why are you not signed up under Jenn? And I was about to turn gold the beginning of September, and Phil looked at the comp plan, had a friend who used to be with Mary Kay look at the comp plan and said, wow, this is really awesome. You need to get involved in this if you can. I can't believe they let husbands and wives do this together. So he signed up. Yay, I'm officially his boss, right? I was always his boss. We've been married almost 20 years. He would say that I'm the boss. Sure. And we started working this business somewhat together. I would say his background is sales, so he knew a lot of the logistics from the sales perspective, but he's not great at relationships unless he really wants to get to know you. He's not going to be the relationship man. So really, I had the gift of really connecting with people. He would kind of help from behind the scenes and say, well, this is really kind of how you need to approach it. And really helped me as a leader, as a gold leader, where a lot of you are right now, of thinking about, okay, now you've got to take what you know how to do and then impart that and help people learn how to duplicate that, because that's the key. Right now, you're the only leader when you're a gold ambassador, generally speaking, on your team. And now it's your turn to kind of switch gears and start to develop leaders. And that can be challenging. But that happened in September by, y'all, I didn't really know what was happening. I just was sharing on Facebook and loving the results that we were getting. Felt better for the first time ever in my life. At the time I was 38 years old. Had never, 39, I don't know, somewhere like that, had never been able to conquer sugar cravings the way that I was able to with Slim. I was like, this is too good to be true, but I have power. And that was probably the biggest thing for me ever. Not even really paying attention to what was going on the scale or inches, although I did have that experience. But the willpower and the energy, the sleep. I was also a 8 to 12 Tylenol or ibuprofen a day girl, just from sinus pressure and headaches. I had dealt with all that kind of stuff all the time. And really, it's so sad how we just become accustomed to not feeling well. And when I started the probiotic and the BioCleanse, I immediately started having regular bowel movements, which I had not had in 12 years of having babies, as well as the headaches went away. And it was kind of one of those like, oh, shocker. What? This is happening too. I just wanted to lose a little bit of weight and all of these things. So, and many of you are familiar with that story, those kinds of stories. And Phil had plantar fasciitis. We had spent thousands of dollars on orthotics and shots and all of that. And with the Slim alone, he no longer suffers from that. So we had lots of great, great health testimonies. We were just sharing with people. What we say to everyone is, Slim, our products work for everybody, but for everybody in a different way. So you can't look at Jenn Mango's story and go, okay, well, I want Jenn Mango's results. Or you can't look at Cindy's results and say, well, I want Cindy's results, because your body makeup and chemistry is totally different. So pay attention to your own individual journey and see what happens. And that's the same for your business. In 10 months time, we grew a team to the level of a little over 500 people. And I turned Emerald actually at convention on in May of 2014. When the convention was here in Dallas, we had over 45, 50 of our team members here. I found out with all of them around me, it was quite a surreal and special moment. And then life happened. Things started to change. Things started getting different. And I want to encourage all of you. I feel like the biggest message I have to share with people in Plexus now, outside of my own team and even with my own team, is that nothing worth value comes without resistance. Nothing comes without hard work, and nothing comes without hardship. And it's a whole lot easier sometimes to get where you want to go than it is to stay there. And so I want to encourage all of you that wherever you are in your journey with your business, that you need to celebrate where you are. You need to realize that hardship paves the way and paves the groundwork for the people that will come behind you. Because what happened to me is I thought, well, I'm going to go straight to Sapphire and then right to Diamond. I'll be Diamond by the time I go to Hawaii. That's really what my mindset was. I didn't change my work ethic. I didn't change my attitude, but things outside of my control changed. And we had a large Canadian team and that was before we were officially open in Canada. And all of those people disappeared kind of overnight. It felt like it was probably a month or two, but really overnight. Different things happened for my leaders, some of my leaders in life. Somebody got divorced. Somebody moved away. Somebody else got sick. Things are going to happen. And what I realized in that knee-jerk reaction of, oh, what about me and my business? What about my team? Is that God was giving me opportunities to minister to people, to continue to grow through because I really had grown super easy when I look back at it, and fast. 10 months. Are you kidding me? Super fast. But I have been able to maintain and stay above Emerald for now will be it'll be 3 years this coming May, in another month. And God has really shown me the power of that, the ability to celebrate that and to be proud of that, and to know that anything worthwhile is going to take some effort, and what got you there is not going to be the same thing that keeps you there. And so I would say to each and every one of you on your journey, whether you're a gold, senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, wherever you are, if you've been in this business for a couple of months or if you've been in this business several years, to appreciate the journey you're on, to appreciate the hardship, to know that your hardship might be the very hope for the person that comes behind you that needs this business more so than even you think you need this business. For our family, this business has totally opened up doors and opportunities for legacy like never before. We're able to save money. We were not savers before. We probably could have and should have, but we were always playing catch up. And now we're in a different position. We've been able to give our children opportunities, and even bigger than that, we have given our children the ability to dream and to dream big, to not limit themselves by their experience, to realize that potential is there and that things can change in an instance when you're committed, dedicated, and the Lord has blessed it for you in your life. One of the things too that I want to make sure that you know as an ambassador, that can trip you up faster than anything, is to start looking around and comparing yourself to others, to start looking at other people's journeys, to go, well, they've only been gold a year and I've been gold almost 3 years, or I've been gold a year and they've only been gold a month and now they're already turning senior gold. That's not fair. Look at their team, and start to blame people in your team. I like to liken your business to a garden. And if you start paying attention to somebody else's garden, guess what happens to yours? Mm-hmm. It will dry up and wither away. You can look at your garden and you can complain about your garden, but when you look at your garden, guess what? You're not feeding it. You're not bringing it sunshine. You're not watering the seeds and tending to things. You're just looking and complaining. And sometimes I think we think we're working on our business when we're sitting thinking about it, or being upset about it or complaining to our upline about it or griping to a sideline and comparing. If you want your garden to grow, you have to tend to it. You have to prune it, which means pay attention to what's going on closely in your group. Make sure that you're setting expectations of, we're going to stay positive. We're going to stay in action mode, because action cures all disbelief. If you're in a place where you're lacking belief or you're apathetic about your business, get your butt moving in action. What does that look like? Picking up the phone, getting on the computer, not scrolling through Facebook, but sending out messages, sending out cards, thanking people that have ordered from you in the past, even if they haven't ordered in 6 months. Send them a thank you note and say, thank you for supporting my business. You know, y'all, we're right in a season of opportunity with this big reveal. Nobody knows what it is, but you better believe you better be prepared to be able to handle the announcement that comes. Because if it's a product, you need to have your list ready of all of your old customers, all of your old inactive ambassadors, your potential customers, your potential ambassadors, and have something crafted, written down, ready to go, that you want to send to them to say, hey, I want you to be one of the first ones to get to experience it. Because we all know that what happens with our Plexus community is the minute something comes out, we all snatch it. And gosh, wouldn't it be awful if you're not ready, that you missed the opportunity to get that in people's hands underneath you, because ambassadors have all taken it away. So be prepared. The other thing in your garden that you need to do is you need to water it. You might not be connected personality-wise with every single person on your team, but if you have people with desire, if you have people that are acting and working towards building their business, you need to pour your time into them. That's pouring water in your garden. Really tending to that, making people feel valued, making people feel appreciated. Recognition is huge. People love to be recognized. So even if it's not that they've ranked up, but maybe they've hit their highest PV of 300 ever before, then you recognize that. That's going to build them up and help them want to grow their business. And then you're planting seeds. I talk to my team. They probably think that we're farmers, Jenn and Phil Mango, but we talk all the time about planting seed and realizing that you can't plant a seed today and expect it to grow tomorrow. You really can't even plant a seed most times in the same month and see the seed grow. You've got to plant that seed and know that there's a 60 to 90 day return on what it is you plant. And you don't just put a seed in the ground and walk away from it either. You really have to go back, and that's where that follow-up comes, and you multiple times reaching out, sharing information with people, finding another story or testimony that connects with them potentially or personally where they're at, asking questions. I don't know how many times we talk on our team and people are not asking questions, but just spewing information on people. And then the last thing I would say is sunshine. Make sure that you are a light to your team. And that's why it's so valuable to me what Cindy said. The compliment that she gave us is that I hope that every time my team is in interaction with me, whether it's one-on-one or in a group, that they feel encouraged, that they feel loved, and that they feel more inspired to go and do what we're called to do and what we're asking them to do than they were before they saw us. Because if you're the person of, oh, yeah, I know, and connecting negatively, that's not good growth. That's not sunshine on your garden, and that does not give people the opportunity to grow. So that, in kind of a nutshell, is what I wanted to share with y'all. I'm looking at Phil to see if there's anything he wants to say, because he almost always has something to say.
Maybe 2 or 3 things.
See, I told y'all.
So real quick, just some tactical stuff. So that's where we work together well, is that Jenn has great 50,000 foot level and some really good details, but then I can also help with tactical. So when you're gold and you're trying to progress, you want to make sure that you are staying active. Don't turn into a manager where you're trying to get your 15 or 20 or 25 people that you're managing their activity. It's the greatest way to stop your growth. You need to be focusing on getting 75 to 100 level 1 ambassadors, because the research that I've shown and found is that if you can get 75 level 1s, 75 to 100, you're nearly guaranteeing yourself the ability to get to emerald, sapphire, and diamond. all the folks that we talked to in Hawaii, they've recruited at minimum 75. Amy Paul's recruited 325 level 1. So always be recruiting. Teach them the power of 3. And then the second thing is, like Jen said, staying positive and encouraging and teaching your folks the power of 3, and then kicking them out of the nest. What I mean by that is, quite simply, now that you've done this, you know how it takes to get level 1 ambassadors, and you've taught them. Don't allow them to continue to, another farm term, suck on the teat and depend on you for everything. Encourage them that they can go do this themselves. Come back to you if they need you, do those 3-way calls, but then encourage them to do the same. Thanks.
Love it.
Crazy boy.
Love that. I love that. So awesome. Can we have about a couple more minutes? Can we open up for some questions if somebody has any? Does anybody have any questions for this wonderful couple? You can unmute if you do. I usually have a few people that'll want to ask a question. Anybody? No, you got some. You got an emerald here, guys. What does your DIPA look like, Jen?
So I am a paper and pen girl. I do everything on list. I keep a running paper on my desk. I'll see if I can show you. So right now I am really working on with my coach of building my customer base. That's an awesome thing that Plexus gives us at the Emerald level and above. You have a personal coach that works with you. So I'm working on, I have a little hustle list, and I have at least about 15 names on this list. And I try to stay with a minimum of 5 people in like kind of the hot zone, I would call it, of people that I've either given a sample to, talked to multiple times, have interest, and we're working towards what's best for them in terms of, you know, whether it's a personal wholesale membership or ordering as a preferred customer. And so I work to connect with those people. And like I said, when I was talking, I really am I try to be creative, that I don't send a message like, hey, April, it's Jen again, just wanting to see if you're ready to order. I don't find that those messages are very effective. What I find is effective is that when I've talked to April and I know that she deals with chronic headaches, that I go and find information about our products and our ingredients that address headaches, that I send her an article or I send her a testimony of someone that I know that has had found relief with Plexus from those kinds of things. If after the 3rd time I don't hear from them, I send a message like this. I know we talked back in February and you were in a lot of pain. Is there something that you found with Plexus that you don't find will help you? Or you don't think will help you? Or is there something I said to you that is holding you back from ordering? Usually you hear back from them because you've connected them back to their original request or their original reason for reaching out or interest in the product. I listen to a podcast or a YouTube video or training every single day. I also am a big believer in self-development and reading books that develop me. And I like to read a business book, and then I read usually a Christian self-help kind of a book. So right now I am reading, what's the name of it? It's Lisa Bevere. I'll think of it in a second. My memory's not the greatest, but I've been reading, my business book is The Power of Habits. And that is an awesome book. And I can send you the picture of that, Cindy, for you to share. Really talking about how 80 to 90%, which if any of you have heard anything from Carrie Wilkerson, she talks about limiting your decisions because so much of what we do is the same thing every day. But when it is that, where can we go in constructively and change things up for people and in our own business to be more effective? It was a great read and kind of off my radar. So that's been really good. Present Ever Perfect. I read that back in February. Excellent book. So I'm a really big believer because as a leader, even as a gold leader, you need to be able to have something to impart into your team members beyond the power of 3, beyond going to your back office and sharing shareables, beyond product knowledge. They are looking for connection and for inspiration. And so you need to be, that's a great way to do that. And then I'm always friending new people, and I'm a pretty bold girl. If I hear a conversation while I'm out, I share Plexus. Yesterday I was at the bank with my mama setting up a new account, and the woman said she was a single mom to 3 grown boys. And she was like, I've really got to put me on my schedule, on my radar. And I was like, this is a God moment. I said, because I don't always do this, because I don't always. And I shared with her, and she was thrilled. She got a sample. We're meeting next week. So I am always, always, always looking for opportunities, because if you think that you can only use social media to get where you want to go, you are not right. You are wrong. Unfortunately, you've got to be expanding your network each and every day, or every time you're out. Your goal needs to be, I want to talk and share Plexus with somebody. So
okay,
that's about it.
Somebody sent me a little quick message. So do your kids take Plexus? Is it like a family affair?
They do. So we have a pretty amazing testimony for our son. We don't get to share it a whole lot because of the compliance issues, but he is 16 years old now. He has struggled with severe asthma all of his life, being on steroids at least once a year, in the ER at least once a year, pneumonia repetitively. He had RSV as a baby, nebulizer treatments. He plays hockey. He's always played a sport. And we started him on Slim and X Factor 3 years ago. And since he's been on that, and he's on ProBio for his skin as well as his breathing, but he doesn't always take pills well, just from a memory standpoint. But he drinks Slim on a regular basis. He is totally symptomatic free. He does not use any products. He was on 4 medications when we started him. He doesn't even know where his inhaler is. The last time I had to get it refilled just to have it camp because it was expired, because he has not used it at all. Both of my girls are on it, like celiac. My daughter was celiac. We have her on Slim. Our probiotic is so strong. She needs half a dose because it's almost too much for her with her belly, with her tummy issues. But we were in repeated cross-contamination issues with her, even when we changed her diet. And since starting Plexus, a lot of that has resolved. And then our daughter with learning differences, it's been amazing. She actually takes Edge on a regular basis, and it has really helped with focus, as well as she's on the Slim. Both my girls take BioCleanse. So yeah, we're a family that we take lots of product, but we all see the benefits. And we haven't been to the doctor since when, Phil? 4 years, only for well visits. Nobody gets sick anymore. So I will take that all day long.
I love that. I have, I don't think I've talked to any Emerald that doesn't have an amazing story with everyone in their family. So that's the key. You have to be a product of these products. And
right.
I know you can't afford to get everything right up front, but whenever you can, to get a new product, and so you have all the products in your home, is a key, I feel, because
totally
so excited about something if we don't even know. I've talked to people that are some golds, and I'm like, have you tried the Edge yet? And they're like, oh no, I haven't been able to, I haven't got it yet. I'm like, oh my, because that builds more excitement in us as we're sharing. It opens the door also to getting more, giving us more of a platform to talk about things, when we're listening, like you said. So thank you.
Yeah, Ease was one of those products that we were like, I was like, we do not need any Ease in our house, the cream. And gosh, we go through, we have 3 bottles of that stuff in our house at all times, because it works for menstrual cramps, it works for slight headaches, it works for all kinds of hockey injuries. Oh, yeah. So my son keeps one in his bag. So yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. So anybody else have a question? I'm getting like messages.
I do have a question. I just thought of something. Because my goal, I would love my husband to do this with me, and he has been sharing a little bit, but I don't think he really knows. Like he says, he's not salesy. He doesn't know. He loves the products. He's been on them for 3 years, like I have, but he doesn't. I guess I'm asking, how can I motivate him, or what's the dynamic between the two of you? Are you both sharing and recruiting? Are you doing the same roles, or how does that work between you? So maybe I can kind of share with him like where he could fit in this business with me?
Sure. I love that question. So most men are really motivated by numbers. So you need to sit down, or you can even message us. And I'm like volunteering Phil. He is our numbers guy for our team and for many other people. He can show you the difference in what you can do with your paycheck when you're working together as a team. I will tell you, we do not operate in the same gifts within our business. And so we allow each other to operate in our strengths. So most of the time. Sometimes I put a little bit of demand on him. But so Phil's not great at relationship building. So if I connect with somebody and I'm like this lady at the bank, I'm going to build a relationship with her. When she's ready to order or to sign up, we will likely sign her up under Phil because it benefits our business because we're working together. Now, I see Terry Davis is on here. She's adopted on our team. She can go, if she has a question about commissions or compensation plan, she is not going to come talk to me about that. She's going to talk to Phil because Phil is the strategy guy. He knows the numbers. And really all of that, even though he's strong in that and knew that probably at the beginning because he was curious, his skill set has developed over time. Just like your skill set is developing over time, just like my skill set is developing over time. I was not the perfect share. I'm not green at all. So my research base, I know as little as possible that people have told me that I've remembered. So we all need to focus on our strengths and know that you can work your business together as a couple for what works for you, not necessarily like two individual ambassadors working their business together, if that makes sense. But numbers is a huge part. Yeah, Cindy.
When did he see this opportunity and go, wow, we're doing this? You know what I mean? Like, I think Katie's for 3
at Gold, when I turned gold, it was seeing the comp plan at Gold and seeing what we could make. If I added another 3 ambassadors after I'd added 12, okay, great, I added 3 ambassadors. If he added 3 ambassadors, he was getting $100 bonus. Right. He was turning silver. Then so our check is about 30% more than if I was just working my business by myself.
Right.
And
Phil wants to say.
Let me add, because you're getting the high points, but the other thing too is, like you mentioned, your husband's going to have, or your partner's going to have different strengths than you, and vice versa. So don't try and put them in a box like, well, I'm recruiting, I'm doing all this, and you do the same. If I get someone who's interested, so I'll post, and if I get someone that reaches out that's interested, I'm like, cool, I'm going to have Jen talk to you, and we're going to get you all set up. Because, yeah, I got to move on. I got other things to do. Yeah. But conversely, Jen and I will work together on monthly plans and on incentives for our team and because I'm very good at the psychology of growth and what it takes to be successful. So then we'll do a lot of that planning together. And it's really good for us, and it's good for couples because you want alignment. Because here's the deal. Some of you are going to shoot up to Jewel and Sapphire and Diamond, and you're going to be quickly out performing and out earning your partners. And I can tell you, as a man, unless you're a really strong man like myself, they might struggle with that. And so you want them aligned with you and a part of the process so that they can, enjoy it with you and help encourage you along the way.
I love that. That's very, very true. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, we're excited because I know once the husbands jump on, it really changes the whole dynamic of everything. It's just crazy. And so my big thing too is with even my husband was money talks, So if we can show them the money, then they're going to think, wow. And another big thing was getting them to convention. Don't you agree?
Yes. It's funny, after big events, we always see an influx in spouse joining, whether it's convention, leaders retreat, even the draggers in Maui, our Hawaii trips. We've been now to Hawaii 3 times. Every time we come back, there's a spouse or 2 or 5 that decide, wow, why not? Phil is getting really close to Emerald himself. And when you're both Emerald as a husband and wife, guess what you get? double the airline tickets or double the airline amounts. You get 2 Lexuses in your driveway. You get 2 rims. You get double the prizes, double the gifts.
Well, just and the simple, just right now where they're at. So when someone joins underneath me with a welcome pack,
Yeah.
so instead of just getting $24.88, we get $24.88 plus $12.50. So you, like you said, you increase by 30% just on the welcome pack bonuses.
Yeah. Yep. I have a guy just like you on my team. He's almost Ruby, and he's built the whole thing himself without his wife. Kind of rare.
Wow.
In Plexus.
That is
But
rare.
He's just like Phil. Like, he's figured this out. Like, so he has his wife as a gold ambassador that he's building.
Okay. Yep. Awesome.
He's figured this out. So I love it. I'd love for him. I'm gonna hook Todd up with Phil. So they
Okay. Awesome. Sure.
they'd be really good. So well,
Okay.
thank you guys so much. This has been a blessing this morning, hasn't it, everyone? Oh, I love it.
You're
Stop our
welcome.